Hello, myself Dr. Ajay Joshi, consultant physiotherapist, and today I am going to show you a basic clinical assessment of knee joint. This video is solely for physiotherapy and occupational therapy students and clinical therapists. There may be some points which have not been covered in this video. There might be academic assessment points. In clinical assessment of knee joint, we are going to cover about the demographic data, history, observation, palpation and examination. So first start with demographic data. In demographic data, what should we have to take from patient side? That is name, age, gender, occupation, address and contact details. Now what is the significance of these all points? Name for the identification of patients, age in particularly in knee patients. Age matters because there are some age related changes or age related disorders like osteoarthritis which can occur after 50 to 55 or up. Then other disease like chondromalacia patella, which we can see in younger patients having age of 20 to 40 years. And another disease called Osgood-Schlatter disease, which is we can see in younger patients and teenagers patients from age having 10 to 16 years. Now apart from age, let's talk about gender. So female are more prone for osteoarthritic changes. Then occupations. So in occupations, we'll ask about patients what type of work he or she is going to do. So occupations, some occupations which require prolonged standing are known for knee problems like chondromalacia patella and early osteoarthritic changes. Then address, to know from which area patient is coming from, and contact details to contact patients in some emergency needs. After demographic data, let's talk about history. In history, first we have to ask about present illness, history of illness. In present history of illness, we are going to ask about the what current conditions of patient and what he is facing problems with his daily life, from how many times he or she is having that conditions. So in particularly knee conditions, some conditions like degenerative changes or osteoarthritis, patient may have pain or swelling or some other symptoms of degenerative changes since from weeks or months or years. And if patients having any trauma, so patients have history of current any injury or fall. Then apart from present history, we are going to ask about the past medical and surgical history if patient has undergone any medical treatment or surgical procedures before this. Next, socio-economical history, to know social and economical status of the patient, and personal habits like smoking or alcohol or any other habits. Now observation. In observation, we are going to observe posture, deformity, then swelling or edema, any skin changes around or over the knee, any scar, and if patients having any external ache. So first we are going to talk about posture, and we'll do posture assessment in standing as well as sitting and supine. Please stand. Stand straight. Ask the patient to stand straight. Then you have to focus of patella. Both patella should face straight forward. Then toes should face forward and slightly externally rotated. Not then check about any deformity, genu varum, bow leg or knock knee. Check also ankle and hip alignments if any disalignment is there. Then ask patient to sit. In sitting, also check both level of both patella. If patella is dislocated or subluxed laterally or medially. Also check the rotation of tibia. You can check if one foot or one ankle is rotated medially or laterally more. Then ask patient to lie down. In supine line, also check both level of patella. They should be in a center and note down any deformities there, any malalignment in knee, genu varum or valgum. After posture and deformity assessment, let's talk about the swelling. You should check for any local or gross swelling around the knee. To check swelling, you should always compare with contralateral knee. Always check bilateral. Now what are the points you should check? You should check medially, laterally, over the patella, anteriorly, patellar inferior pole, superior pole, tibial, tuberosity, and in prone line, popliteal fossa. In prone line, you should check swelling at the popliteal fossa. Now what you can differentiate or what you can detect from the area of swelling. If swelling is present over the medial aspect, then there is a involvement of injury over the medial collateral ligament or medial meniscus. If the swelling present over the lateral aspects, then there can be a chances of injury to lateral collateral ligament or lateral meniscus. If swelling over the patella and in the central part or surrounding the patella, there can be a patellofemoral syndrome or chondromalacia patella or prepatellar bursitis. If you find swelling over the superior pole of patella, come closer. This is a superior pole of patella. If you find swelling here, it can be a suprapatellar bursitis. Okay. And if you find swelling over the inferior pole of patella, it can be a infrapatellar bursitis or jumper's knee. If you find swelling over the tibial tuberosity, it can be patellar tendinitis or Osgood-Schlatters syndrome. And if you find swelling over the popliteal fossa, it can be a popliteal cyst or Becker cyst. After swelling, you should observe for some skin changes, like if there is an open wound or presence of open wound or not. There may be a laceration of skin. There may be a redness, and redness is a sign of inflammation. There may be a pallor skin because of lack of vascularity of lack of blood supply to that particular part. So this much you can observe in skin changes. Changes you have to check for scar, if there any presence of scar. In scar you have to observe whether it is a healed scar or non-healed scar. And in observation, last point is, if patients having or using any external aid. In external aid, patient might be using any stick or walker or crutch, or he or she may be using some braces like kneecap or hinge knee brace or patellar support brace.